Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tel Cockerel, Friday, the 24th of January. It's predictions week, week 23 of predictions. Today we have predictions in the Premiership and 4 bonus games for you all. Can I just firstly say thank God for last night? We got a W. We've been waiting so long for a W. I'm not going to talk about the game today. I've set a sharp for tomorrow. I'll talk about that in a minute, where we can talk football and talk everything. But today, obviously, as you guys know, I play football on Friday. So today it's all important to get your predictions done and stuff like that. So that's why we've got the show today. But I hope that each and every one of you that lives in England at the moment, some of you live in different parts, I hope that you're all safe. I hope that you're all sound and that you continue to be safe. The eye of the storm was obviously up in Ireland, going across to Scotland and up the north of England or the northwest of England. And I hope you're all well, and I hope that you are seeing I hope it's the end of it for you guys. The rest of it, my God, I've been speaking. Sorry, you've got probably not. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tel Cockerel. It's the 24th of January. Yeah, sorry. I hope everyone is well. For those that live in England, I hope that you are safe and that you are well. The storm has hit people in different parts of the country in different ways. Different speeds and stuff like that. So I hope that you are all well. I know you all sound. If you're watching today's show, then I think that you might be sound, but I wish that on all of you. Yeah, the other thing I said, I don't know because I don't have my headphones on properly. Last night we got a W. I'm not going to talk about the game, but oh my God, we've been waiting for ages to get a win, and we got one last night. I'm not going to discuss that because today it's all about getting your predictions in, people. So yeah, so happy days to everyone. I have set a show up for tomorrow. It's for members, or I've done it as a member show. Anyone can watch, but if you're a member, you can come on and have your say. And I've titled it something along the lines of "My Tottenham, Your Spurs, Our Club," and it's for anyone to come and have a say. Tomorrow will probably be a day that I might well digest anything Tottenham with people that come on and talk about last night's game in more detail. On Sunday, for people to make you aware, we have got the return of the ladies' takeover. We have the returning from illness. For 3 months she's been off. 3 months off YouTube because she's not been well at all. But we've got the return of Queen Ellie. Ellie will be back, and Ash has not been well, so has not made an appearance this year either so far. So it'll be Ash's returning as well on Sunday. So it'll be their first appearances for 2025 for both of them on Sunday morning. So that's a show on Sunday morning. Today's predictions, the results for today's predictions will be on Monday because the games this weekend only take place on a Saturday and Sunday. So the results show for next week will be on the Monday. I hope that ties up everything I was going to say. Let me say hello to a few of you in the chat. We've got Adrian is here, says good afternoon all. Then I've got David Shear here as well, and he's saying, what's David Shear? He said he was just about to go to sleep, but he's saying good day. Johnny Bethnal Green, good afternoon, Wascott, to you and your family. I hope you're well. Michael's here. Good afternoon, Michael. I hope you're well, sir. And you're saying hello to everyone in the chat as well. We've got Drula. Good afternoon, Drula. Says afternoon, Jose Cockerel and Cockerel Posse. Potato Stew, you all right, mate? I hope you're well. You missed last week, but I hope you're well, sir. Nice to see you here. Mark Taylor says, love that Spurs song when we were fantastic. Up the old bloody Spurs. Correct. Can't disagree with you any more than that, Mark. Can't disagree with you anymore. David Clark's here. Says hi to everyone in the chat. Good afternoon, David. I hope you're well. We got Jess is here saying afternoon. Afternoon, Jess. And Mark saying big up Tel. Good afternoon, Mark. I hope you're well, sir. You and your family. Hello, how's anyone in the chat? Good afternoon, Mr. Simpson. Hope you're well. Archer's here. Good afternoon, Archer. And everyone in the chat. Good afternoon, Archer. I hope you're well. Graham is here. You're back, Graham. Afternoon, Archer. I hope you're all well. Hi to all in the chat. Graham's been away with working. Mark says we were lucky last night. I'm not talking. I'm talking tomorrow. Today's all about the predictions. It's a fast-paced show. Predictions today. And then you've got Ben K. Good evening, everyone. This evening, Ben. I hope you're well, sir. Mikey Romero, good morning to you because you're on the other side of the pond. Says, afternoon, Jose. I hope all is well with everyone in the chat. I hope you're well. Here we are. Look who it is. It's big. Daniel says, big up and smash the like button for Jose. Thank you very much, Daniel. It's very kind of you to remind people. And what I need to do is put that back on there so people can see what we're about. Who we got? We got. Anyone else? We got James. James is here. Says, big up, Jose. Big up, James. Nita's here. She's saying, oops, hi, Jose, and hi to all in the chat. Good afternoon, Nita. Hope you're well. David Clark is here. And David Clark says, I want to speak about Spurs ladies less than Spurs men because I just don't want to swear on the ladies podcast. In the bin, good afternoon, sir. How are you? I hope you're well. Ronnie's here. Says, good afternoon, Jose, and all in the chat. Good afternoon, Ronnie. Paul G. It's afternoon to the Hotel family. Come on, you Spurs. Good afternoon, Paul G. Do you know what? Jess didn't get one. Jess, good afternoon. I didn't give one to Jess. Kuva says, big up all. Hoping for another week of gaining on the leader. You certainly have been gaining. It's all next week. I'm away, Jose. This week's just been crazy busy. Oh, well, then there's no issues because on Monday's the results show, Graham. And then on Friday, it will be the predictions for the following weekend. So it's quite an easy week next week. We haven't got this. We're starting to come out of the, there's games and predictions. We're starting to come out of it now. And Ed M's here. And Ed M says, afternoon, Jose, and everyone in the chat. And everyone's saying hello to each other. Anyone that's new, because there's 30 of you watching at the moment. And anyone that's new, because it might not be your bag. This is not for everyone, right? So if it's not your bag, then fine. But if it is and you fancy having a go, new players are more than welcome to play. So, you know, if you want to play, then please put in your scores out and when they come up. And let's see if we can up the like button game. We've got 30 watching. There's only 18 likes. It's always good to up your like game. Oh my God, he's getting mad. The dog again. The dog. They've been so scared of me, dogs, because of the wind. And now that the wind's down, they've just started to bark everywhere. James is flexing his 5-member badge saying, thank you, Jose, for everything you do. I don't know too well whether you all, good afternoon, Big John. Big John's here. Jesse's not well. Oh, Jesse, I hope you feel better. I wish you a speedy recovery. Like I say in every show, don't like to see anyone not well. So let's send positive healing vibes over to Jessie, to Jess, to make sure she gets better. Just going to do a quick one to people that are here today. Have I taken them all out? No, I haven't. For people that are here today that may have missed the show, Mark, I don't know whether you were here in the results show, but Mark, you're straight into 86th place. You've jumped straight into 86. So anyone in blue, it means it's your first week. Anyone in green, it means you've climbed up the table. So last week, I don't know if they're here today, right? So you've got Wayne Bonner says 100. Sorry, show you. There's now 123 players playing. Last week, of the new players, Wayne Bonner went into 100th. Philly went into 99th. Spurs fan John straight into 94th. Mark Taylor, highest entrance of the week, straight up into 86th. Daniel Levy climbed into 85th. Michael Chelsea into 82nd. In the bin, climbed into 81st. I might have to take this banner off to show you guys. Yeah, no, there's no one there. Lord Rodney went into 66th. Rinketic went into 57th. Stacey into 53rd. Archer to 52nd. Grant went into 48th. Jimmy Hotspur and the Spurs Danlist are in orange because they both broke 100 points. And then further up the tables, you've got Bobby Kane to 37th, Jess to 36th, Finn 35th. Richard went into 33rd, Lee Wiz into 31st, Jimmy Talks Football to 24th, Alan 22nd, Drew Latt into 18th. The oranges means that David Clark, Mikey Romero, Ronnie and Colin Blackshaw all broke 200 points. And then Jose went up into 6th. So therefore, at the moment, we currently have 47 players on 100 points or more. As I said to people, and I've been saying it all along, if people play on a weekly basis, from now to the end of the season, people will smash through the 100-point barrier quite comfortably. I've even got a feeling that some people that are currently on this page at the moment and below will probably break through the 200 barrier as well. So it's a case of just being here every week and playing. So that's where you all are in the league tables. What I will say to remind you people as well is that alongside this competition that we do of the predictions, we also have Predict the Prem that we do as well. Just trying to get the page up. So we have Predict the Prem. Is this going to work? Right, it's okay. So here we are. Right. So in Predict the Prem, for those of you that haven't done it already, all these other games that we play, there's 2 games that we play that are online games. Both the online games can be found in the description of this. But just to show you guys that on Predict the Prem, you've got till 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon to put your predictions in. And like I say to people, when you do your predictions, it's easy. This is based on goal difference. So when you do your Predict the Prem, all you do is say you wanted Bournemouth to win 4-0. You predict 4-0. That's it. That's your score. Yeah. And you do that for them, and then you hit save when you've done them. But the beauty of this one is that if you get to hear any team news, or if you find something that you know that you didn't know when you did it, or when you initially did your score, as long as before the kickoff, you can then go in and change your score line. So just to say, Predict the Prem, just got to remember you always get advised on a weekly basis about it. But if you haven't done it already, it's just a reminder. Predict the Prem is due for tomorrow, as long as you do it before the first kickoff at 3 p.m. And then the other game that we got, and this you've got till, I'll tell you, I'm going to advise you the time frames, and then we can start on the predictions. But on the game, it's fantasy football that we do. And on fantasy football, pick a team. Let me see if we can pick a team. Right. On pick a team on fantasy football, you have, guys, till pick a football team. Right. You have till 1:30 tomorrow afternoon to finalize your team for fantasy league football. So even if you're not in our league, if you're in somebody else's league, you've got till 1:30 tomorrow. If you want to join our league, whatever points you scored so far will count. You don't start from scratch. You just enter a new league. All the information of entering into the fantasy football is also on the description of today's show. So if anyone wants to join in, there's 2 more games that we play, competitions that we play, that you can join. It's a private league, yeah, in the bin, the codes there, everything. They're both private. They're both at Tel Cockerel only. And both the links and the codes are in the description. Right. So with that being said, who's ready? Right, let me just catch up with the chat and then we'll start. Michael says 82nd is a good start for sure. We've got 120 odd people now, so you've done really, really well. There's a few really short of interviews. Top John saying, right, sorry. You have David Shear says, anyone heard from DJ Samuel lately? Right, DJ Samuel came on yesterday on We Are Tottenham TV when we were doing a pump-up show, and he put in a chat and we all wished him the best. So I'm hoping that he is well and on his way to recovery. I think he's still not 100%, to be honest, but we have wished him all the very best. And if he pops into our chat, we'll wish him all the very best again as well, I'm sure. Neil says, I didn't expect to be here for this in person. I was going to meet at the train station, but it has been rerouted and is arriving much later than due to cancellations. Fine, I got your message. I responded back to you as well, Neil. John, you are an honorary Aussie after that effort. Okay, so John, you're being welcomed by the people down under. Is it a private league? I've said that. So you've got Side Dancers here. Says, hi, everyone. Good afternoon to you, Side. I hope you're happy. Good morning to Alan. Good morning, Alan. I hope you're well. And Ronnie says, forward we are trying to get is Brian Broberry. Ajax's stats for this season is 3 goals in 29 games. You know, do you know what? I don't believe that we're getting anyone at all. That if we're going to get someone, it'd be someone that we haven't been linked with, because that's the way that Langer operates. But then like that, you can foul a million times before you can bring someone in, because you don't actually know who you've gone for in the first place. Right. Are we ready? Predictions, people. Are we ready to play predictions? Before we get ready to play predictions, I'll say it again. Anyone that's new, you're more than welcome to join in with the predictions. Yeah. So I will put what I do for people that don't know, I will put the fixtures in. You in the chat will tell me what your score line will be for that. And then what I do is I go to my laptop and I start working on an Excel spreadsheet and I start putting your scores in there. It takes a couple of hours, or just over a couple of hours to do, because we've got 10 Premiership games and I've added 4 bonus games. The reason why the bonus games were added, just so people know, is for people to have a chance to make points up. But equally, the people that have started playing before, new players, can also make points up. So invariably, everybody gets a chance. Everyone gets to meet each other. Everyone gets to banter each other. And we have a bit of fun on a Friday afternoon. So with no further ado, what I will start with is the first game of the weekend. And that is Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. So anyone wishing to play, just put the score in. Don't need to put Bournemouth 2, Forest 1. 2-1 will do. Just put the score in the right order of the teams that are playing. And I will take it from there.
I found it a bit hard to do the swap.
Right, we have in the bins the first one in. So I'll just start in the bin. Right, and now I'm the longest one it takes to predict is the first game. After the first game, they're all easy to predict. It's easier because I can maneuver it. Neil's gone for a 2-all draw. So in the bin, 1-1. Neil, 2-all. Edem, 1-all. Edem, 1-all. We have Gus Parker at 1-2. Gus, you had a poor week last week, son. You've got to do something different. You've got to operate differently. You've had a poor few weeks, mate. So I think you need to operate differently. Big John. Big John has said 1-2. Jess has said 1-3. Drula says 1-2. Mark is going for a 2-all draw. Nita says 1-2. And then we have Alan at 1-2. After Alan, I have Colin Blackshaw. Good afternoon, Colin, says 2-all. And then I can see Side Dancer says 1-2 for Side Dancer. Side Dancer. I'll find Sai. Sai said 1-2. Dekaru must be undercover. Good. Hello, Dekaru. How are you, sir? Haven't seen you, though, by the way. But I'll say hello just in case. It's an aberration. 2-1 for Dekaru. Michael says 2-2. Michael, 2-all. I then have Ronnie at 2-1. Find Ronnie. Ronnie at 2-1. We then have the Oracle at 2-1. Where's the Oracle? There he is. 2-1 for the Oracle.
I don't leave it alone.
The potato. The potato says 1-all. Potato who we missed last week. Potato says 1-all. David Clark says 2-all. Mr. Clark. Where is Mr. Clark in here? Up there it says 2-all. Then after Mr. Clark we have Graham at 2-1. Graham, who is our leader. Archer says 2-1. Jimmy is 1-2. Jimmy, where's Jimmy? Jimmy's there, says 1-2. Mikey Romero 0-2. Mikey R. Senor Romero 0-2. Where's Mikey Romero? There he is, Mikey Romero.
Leave it.
Paul G.
Paul
G. Paul G says 0-2. Johnny Bethnal Green 3-1. Yes, Neil, that's not a problem at all. Dekaru, you did well. Snowing again says NM. Kuba says 1-1. 1-1 Makuba. Have I got any more? Carl Simpson says 1-2. Right. So at the moment, now that I've got all you guys in, I'm going to add you guys to the show, so to speak. It's the easiest way of doing it. So if I cut and paste you into the show, I can see what players we've got here because they've already predicted their first score. And then like that, I don't have to go searching for players at the moment, or not as bad as not as much as what I had to. So we have, right, that's those GTVs in. I then got Ronnie, Mikey, Romero, Gus Parker, Alan, and Kuba all in one lump there. So we'll put them into the show. There we go. You're all in. That's fantastic. Then I've got Drula and Adrian. Put them into the show. So Drula and Adrian. Right. Then I've got a bulk. I've got Johnny Bethnal Green in the bin. David Clark and Colin B. Add them all in. There we go. Then we jump into Jess. Right, put Jess into the show. Now we have, I've got Big John and Michael Chelsea. Add them into the show. Anybody that's new that wants to play, you're more than welcome. Just add your score in now as I'm collating people in. Whoops. Ed M is here and it's giving me a score. So Ed M's into the show. Mark Taylor is in, giving me a score. So he's in the show. I then have Side Dancer. I then have, have I got any people grouped together or just not grouped together, are they? Paul G. G. Into the show. I then have Nita. Eater into the show. Who else have I got here? Jimmy Talks Football. Jimmy Talks Football. Dekaru. And I think Potato Stew. And then I think I've got everybody. One more there, Dekaru. And then I have... So Dan Coys, are you not predicting? I thought Dan Coys was here, but I've not seen one for Dan Coys. Right, so I've got no from people that normally play on a weekly. Right, I know about Lee Wiz. Lee Wiz will leave them in the show later because he's not around. So we've got no Jimmy Hotspur, no Ryan G, no Round Table Talk. Okay. No Rinketic. No Ellie. No Rob Belcher at the moment. Right, that's that one there. Rob Belcher. No Finn. Ben Kaufman is here saying 18.5. And Ryan G has just come in. Ryan, I was just commenting that you weren't here. So we'll put Ryan G in at 1-1. Ryan G, you did say 1-1, didn't you? Yeah. And Senor Kaufman has gone for 18.5. Ben will score points. Right, Ben Kaufman. Rob Belcher's here. I can add Rob Belcher as well. Lovely. Let me add you now. Just find Ben and Rob Belcher. Good afternoon, Rob. I hope you're well. I hope the weather's behaving itself wherever you may be. And then Rob Belcher went for 2-0. Right, we had Rob Belcher. He said 2-0. 2-0. So I'm just trying to get this to look decent, and then I'll be ready to move on to the second game. So just give me a few more seconds. So we've got no Finn. I've got no Finn, no Grant today at the moment. I've got no Matty Kushner at the moment. No Lord Rodney. No Philly. So these are all players that played last week that have not played yet. But some of these people left them online. Bobby K, Wayne Bonner, and Daniel Levy. David Shea and Peter Kagayas. They will leave them on the stream. So I know that they're going to be coming. Vindaloo and Leo. Put them onto the side. Vindaloo and Leo. Milos Jankovic, who played last week, but he left it on the stream. Tigaro, Dan Coys, and a lot of others. Stacey, the Spurs analyst, Nigel Pure Coys. They probably just leave them on the stream. And then the rest of these people, oops, up to that one. Add to there. And then I've got Destiny 5. Destiny 5, I've not seen Destiny 5 for a while. Right, cut these ones. Right, so these are the people that we've got live on the stream at the moment. If there's anybody else, then please add your score. At the moment, we have playing Jose, Archer, Carl Simpson, Neil, Graham, Ronnie, Mikey Romero, Gus, Alan, Kuva, Drula, Adrian, El Vasco, In the Bin, David Clark, Colin B, Jess, Big John, Michael, Edem, Mark Taylor, Cy, Paul G, Nita, James, Dekaru, Potato Stew, Ryan G, Ben Kaufman, Rob Belcher. Hopefully, I've got you all. Right, Hopefully I've got you all right. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to game number 2. And banners, put the banners. God, I'm so slack today. There's me Cockerel back in the corner. Game number 2, Brighton versus Everton, please. Brighton versus Everton is game number 2. I've gone for Bournemouth 2, Forest 0. I don't know why I've done that, because they've got no bloody strikers. But I've gone for a 2-0. Everton 2-1 for Kuva. All right, Kuva's gone for a 2-1. Carl Simpson went for a 2-1. Carl Simpson 2-1. Just looking at the 2-1s in the bin. 2-1. Big John 2-1. Drula 2-1. Neil 2-1. Side Dancer 2-1. Because 2-1's a popular result, isn't it? For some of you people, 2-1 for Side Dancer. Any more 2-1s? Because I'm just going to copy and paste this. Otherwise, it takes me ages to keep typing things out. I have a 2-1 for David Clark. I've got a 2-1 for Rob B. And that's it. They're the only 2-1s I've got. So I'll go back up further. Right, I'm going for Brighton 3, Everton 0. Right, I think Brighton have got Danny Welbeck back now. I think they're going to have too much for them. And I'm going to go down, and Graham's gone for a 2-0. Who else? Jess has gone for 3-1. So I'm going for alternative 2-1 scores. So 3-1. Alan's gone for a 3-1 as well. Alan's 3-1. 2-2 for Nita. Nita is going for a Daigle. Have a 2-0 for Ed M. We have a 3-1 for Jimmy Talks Football, also known as James. I have a 2-0 for Michael. 2-0. I have a 3-2 for Dave Karu. She wasn't here. 3-2 for the man. There we go. I'm back. Don't know what happened there. What a load of crap that was. Right, let me go back up because I was putting people's scores in. Right, sure I had Gus Parker. Yeah, I did. Right, I might need to look because this was jumping. So I need to find Adrian. Colin Blackshaw I saw just now. Colin Blackshaw's gone 3-0. And then Mark Taylor, Paul G, Potato Stew, Ryan G, Ben Kaufman. And anybody else that's new. Did I say Ryan G? Yeah, I must have. So Ryan G's gone 2-0. So I've got Ryan G's score. Adrian's gone 2-1. So I have Adrian's score. Potato's gone to 2-2. So I have the potato score. Ben 1-9. Mr. Kaufman will carry on. Mr. Kaufman will score points. So please, whether you score 1 or 3, points are points. Right. Paul G went for 2-0. And I'm looking for Mark Taylor and anybody else that's new. Mark Taylor went 3-0. So I've got Mark Taylor. Right. I think I've got everyone I believe that's in the show at the moment. Let me have a look. Yeah, I saw you, Mark. I found yours. Peter Kagayas is here. Says hi, all 3:35 a.m. in Melbourne. Good morning to you, Peter. Sorry that you had to work, mate. God, we could have done it. I'm doing a show tomorrow, but obviously you've got to work, so I'm really sorry about that. But I will get you. I will get you because, as I said, your main sponsor, one of the main sponsors of the show, and I want to get you on. But these memberships I've gone to. Spurs Diehards says Adrian, Paddy Hartnett, Steve D, Mr. M, and the Mile High Hotspur. So if any of you receive any memberships, then these were gifted to you by Peter Kagayas. Has anyone come in? Jose's on. Yeah, I lost you guys. I don't know why I got. Right, Leo's here. Says Peter, my homie, thank you. So he's already received one. Side Dancer says Jose, like our defense, nowhere to be seen. Back, guess who's back? Yeah, I'm back. Who we got? You are welcome, says Peter to Leo. Have we got anyone else here? I went to the dark side. Thank you very much, Leo. Ben says I'm goading him. I'm not goading him. I just say to Ben, you always score points. Whichever scores you put in, you always end up scoring points. Peter, you've been thanked by Adrian. No, Tot Spurs, start now. It's a lot easier for me. Start now if you're here, Tot Spurs. We've only done the first 2 games. So for Tot Spurs, I think I've caught up with everybody's chat. Tot Spurs, just for you, mate. The first 2 games are, I need Bournemouth Forest and Brighton Everton. Bournemouth Forest, Brighton Everton, please, Tot Spurs. And then you are up to date. Anybody else wishing to play? You need to give me Bournemouth Forest, Brighton Everton. Bournemouth Forest, Brighton Everton. Let me see. Yes, Leo, God bless you, mate. No worries at all. You leave them on the stream, it's fine. Right, let's see if Tot Spurs is doing it. God, we are well slack today. 41 people in the house and only 30 likes. God, is it worth me putting up this message about the like button? God. Right, Tot Spurs. There we go. Tot Spurs is in the game. Bear with me, Tot Spurs. I'll add you into the show. Right, there's Tot Spurs. We add Tot Spurs in at 3-1 and 2-1. Oops. Right, where's Tot Spurs? One thing was here. There's Tot Spurs. And Tot Spurs has gone 3-1. and 2-1. Right. That being said, we move on to game number 3 of the weekend. And game number 3 for you all is Liverpool versus Ipswich, please. Can you give me Liverpool versus Ipswich, please? Oh, look at that. Jesse's in first. She ain't messing around, mate. Liverpool 4-1. Where's Jess? What I will say to people is, and it's just I'm gonna give you a little trade secret here, but I'd be very wary of the teams that are away this weekend that have had to travel far, because there's been a lot of disruption with Storm Ewan. There's been a lot of disruption, and there's teams that would normally fly, but airports have closed and cancelled flights, so they can't fly up to destinations. And then you've got people that would have had to jump on coaches to drive. So I'm just wary about I don't know what's going on there. This is just fucking madness, isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say the people that are travelling today have not been able to travel. I have been adding scores in as I froze out. I'm now on Mark Taylor, who's on 4-0. So I'm just a bit wary on teams that have got to travel far. They've not been able to fly up, and they would have to alter their patterns and maybe drive up. So I'll leave that to you. But that's just a snippet of information that I've picked up on. 2-1 for Adrian. 4-0 for Neil. Neil's also going for a 4-0. Got to find Neil. Where's Neil? Excuse me, people. It's very, very bad. Oops. 4-0 for Neil. 3-0 for James Talks Football. James says 3-0. We got it, James, for 3-0. Kadekaru says 2-0. And Kuba says 4-0. Says Akaro at 2-zip. Kuba 4-zip. Kuba 4-zip. And then after Colin Blackshaw, 5-0. I've also gone for 5-0 as well, Colin B. And my reasoning behind that is I think that some of the teams down the bottom are going to take hidings this weekend. I just don't think there's any hiding place for them. I just think that there's no hiding places. I can't explain, because otherwise I'm giving some of my other scores away early. But I just think that some of the teams further down the nether regions are not going to score well this week. And Drula says 3-1 as well. I'll put Drula at 3-1. Alan says 4-0. 4-0 for Al. Mikey R says 2-0. David Clark says 4-0. Mikey R was the one that said 2-0. Archer says 4-0. The potato has also gone 5-0. Side Dancer says 4-0. Totty Spurs says 4-1. Tot Spurs 4-1. Side Dancer 4-0. Big John says 4-1. Big Bad John. Where's Big Bad John? There he is. Big Bad John says 4-1. Oopsie daisy. 4-1 for Big Bad John. Gus P says 3-0. Senor Parker says 3-0. Whoops. Johnny BG El Vasco says 5-0. Johnny can see goals. Ryan G 4-0. 4-0 for Ryan G. Paul G 3-0. And then I'm missing, I can see I'm missing Ronnie and Ben Kaufman. Ronnie says 5-0. Ronnie is also another one on 5. 5-0. Says just Ben, I'm going to be looking for. Must be cold over there because Jose is frozen solid. I have good weather tomorrow, but you're still probably correct about the travelling. Oh geez, I'm frozen again. I am. Paul Brown is here. Good evening, Paul. I hope you're well. Good evening, Jose. Chat. Hopefully everyone's safe after the storms. Paul, do you want to? Welcome to do so. You're more than welcome to do so. Ben, I found your score. You said 1-5. I don't think you're going to be scoring a point for that game, Ben. But yeah, Paul Brown, more than welcome to enter, sir. Is a storm plane not down Ginger with Jose's internet connection? I've got bloody fibre optics, so I ain't got a clue what's going on. Peter, guys, have you just gifted another 5 memberships out? 115 you went for. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that. 115. It's like a sermon, 115. Okay, right. I'm not sure. Let me just check, Peter. Right, Peter, Peter's given out 10 more memberships. Not 5. I thought it was 5. Peter's given out 10 more memberships. Peter, that's very, very kind of you. I need to keep up. I can't keep up with this. Who's that? Right, these have gone to Swim Master, International Observer, We Are Spurs TV, Andy LUFC Till I Die, and Danny Talks Sport. And Milton Nobrega, Steve Tottenham Hotspurs, Mr. I ain't got a clue what's going on. I've got today Karu. Johnny Bethnal Green now on 02. I was typing them in as I could see them, so I've still been typing them in. Nita says 03. I think that I put the wrong teams in there in my chat, but then I corrected it. So if people have changed it, I will change it if you've changed your score. 03 for Nita. Carl Simpson 1-3. The show will carry on. Drew the 2-1. Graham 03. Kuba says 03. 03, correct. It should be against Newcastle. 1-4 says Edem. Edem says 1-4. 1-2 for Paul G. Paul is here. 1-2. Daykaru says, oh, then yes, 04, not 05. So 04 for Daykaru. What did I put Daykaru in for? Okay, 05. So we'll go 04 for Daykaru because he changed it. 1-3 for Ryan. 1-3 for Ryan. Then we have Side Dancer at 1-3. And then we have Rob Belcher at 1-3. Then we have James Talks Football at 1-3. Michael at 1-4. Top Spurs at 1-3. So Dad is going 1-3 as well. Who else we got here? We got Inner Hype. You're back. I'll roll back for you later. Inner Hype. You're starting at 102. Nice to have you back, Inner Hype. Let me find you and add you. Inner Hype. Where's Inner Hype? It's been a while since I've seen Inner Hype. Now I've just got to find your name under all these people. There he is. Inner Hype. All found, all added. Inner Hype in the show. Right, so Inner Hype, I've got you at 02. Who else have we got here? I've got Big John at 1-3 as well. Big John has gone 1-3. 1-3 for Big John. Then after Big John, I have In the Bin at 03. In the Bin at 03. I have Ronnie at 04. We have Potato Stew at 1-2. The potato at 1-2. Southampton not playing Chelsea. What the hell is going on? Yeah, it's correct. I did change it. So I don't know what's happened there. 1-1. 1-3 for Alan. 1-2 for Adrian. David Clark says 1-3. Good afternoon, Swim Master. I hope you are well, sir. Yes, it was Peter, guys, and you've already noticed and you're already thanking him. Mikey Romero 03. And Mark Taylor 03. And I'm missing Archer. I can't see Archer or Ben Kaufman. It could well be me. So I'll circle back for Archer and Ben. It could well be me that I've missed them. So let me circle back. I've turned off my background. Whoever advised that, I did turn that off. Right, so it's Archer and Ben that I'm missing at the moment. As I go down the list again, just make sure. Archer and Ben Kaufman. Archer's gone 0-3. So Archer's gone 0-3 for this game. So I'm just waiting on Ben. Yeah, so Big John, my fear was Newcastle can't fly down to Southampton. Even Eddie Howe said it today. The disruption is that you can't fly out of Newcastle to get down to Southampton. So it may well be that unless they leave tomorrow and they're allowed to fly, they're going to have to coach it down, the players, all the way from Newcastle down to Southampton. So that's what I was saying. I'm really wary about some of the teams that are playing away from home that had their travel disrupted today, because some of them, I mean, they've all got 3 o'clock kickoffs tomorrow. It's the earliest kickoff. But if you've still got winds up there, then even the flying might still not be the right thing to do. So I'm not sure. In a hype, whilst I'm waiting for Ben to see where he puts the score in a hype, can you give me Bournemouth Forest, Brighton Everton, Liverpool Ipswich? If you give me them in a hype, then you're up to date. And it saves me rolling back, because at the moment, you're the only person that I had to roll back for. Right, I don't know whether Ben's still about. So I'm going to go for, in this match,
Yeah, right.
I'm going to go, God, it's difficult. Do I go 1, 3 or 0? I'm going to go 0, 3. So that means I've gone for 3 score lines with zeros in them. Edem, he said that they weren't sure what they were going to do, whether they were going to wait to see what the forecast were for tomorrow. Otherwise, otherwise they'll have to. They may leave tonight, Edem, rather than tomorrow. But however, whatever happens is they can't fly. It's a coach trip. How much does a coach trip put you off playing football when you have to? How long's a coach trip from Newcastle down to Southampton? It's got to be a minimum of 6 hours, comfortably, if not longer. It's got to be a minimum of 6 hours, if not longer. So Inner Hype's going 2-2, 2-1, and 1-2. Vindaloo's here. He's missed the first 4 games. Vindaloo's putting them all in one go. Good afternoon, Vindaloo. Let me just add you to the show. Vindaloo, where are you? You were here somewhere. There he is. There's Vindaloo. There he is. Vindaloo, we had him into the chat, and Vindaloo's score lines are, so he brings us up to date. Big John says it's 7 hours plus driving. I was going to say, for me, I can see a minimum of 6 hours. Everton, Brighton 3-1 against Everton 3-1. Liverpool 4-0. And Newcastle 1-3. Right, Vindaloo, you're in. I've got you. Peter Kagaya says he can pick up a traumatized Tottenham supporter for a mile away. This is where you Australians and Americans make me laugh, because he says, "Lol, a drive from Newcastle to Southampton is just a lazy afternoon trip. I did over 1,000 kilometers in a day to go visit my sister for Christmas." This is what I'm saying. When you Americans and when you Aussies say we're going to go and see a friend, or we're just going for a drive, for you it's a 12-hour drive and you think nothing of it. And here in England, it takes ages to get to Scotland driving. And I presume that the roads, some in America are much bigger, some in Australia are going to be bigger. But you've got a lot of outback in Australia. So if you're trying to get cross country in Australia, do you know what? You probably get more mileage done and a quicker time cross country across Australia than what you would do in the roads that we have here in England. And that's in all honesty. They are not travelling on the back of a cart with chickens, like they are either on a luxurious coach or a first-class train. 10,000 in a day. Johnny's laughing his head off. So Mike, because this is what they do. Neil says that a coach, it says it's 10 hours 49 minutes for a coach for that journey. Melbourne to Sydney takes 10 hours, says Peter Kagayas. But yeah, I just think it's wary. Right, Ben has not given me a score, so we're going to move on, right? And the next game that we move on to is going to be Wolves versus Aston Villa. The Wolves versus Aston Villa. A coach is limited to 120 Ks. That's about 62 miles per hour. Plus taco breaks. Big John, do you drive coaches or do you drive trucks or whatever? Because you seem to know a lot about it. Mate. There is an express train out of Newcastle. I've been on it, and trust me, it flies like the wind. There's a good tune there. Flies like the wind. It's a good tune. Jesse starts at 1-3. From Jess, we move on to Drula at 2-1. And then we move on to Rob Belcher at 0-1. Rob Belcher at 0-1. And then we move on to Tot Spurs at 1-3. Mark Taylor at 0-2. Ed M at 0-2. Graham at 0-2. God, we've got a train of people here. 0-2 for Graham. A 1-3 for Carl. A 2-2 for Mikey R. Mikey Romero. Where's Mikey? Mikey on the Daigle. Then I have Side Dancer on a 1-3. Neil on a 1-3. Ryan on a 1-3. Right. So who did I say? I said we had Sai on a 1-3. Ryan is on a 1-3. And the other one was Neil on a 1-3. Right, got them. And Colin Blackshaw's on a 1-3. None of these 1-3s. A 1-0 for Michael. I'm an ex-HGV driver. Well, I'll tell you a little story, right? I thought it was Wolves Arsenal. It is Wolves Arsenal, yeah. 1-2 for Jimmy Coyes. So, Jimmy Coyes. I had a company that I worked for, and I don't drive to start with. I don't drive at all, right? I had a company that I worked for, and the job that I was the job that I was then given, or the assignment that I was given, or the new contract that I was given, involved someone having to be the O license holder. And so that's having the professional CPC. So not the driver's CPC for HGV drivers, but having the professional CPC so you can manage freight, you can manage logistics, you can manage articulated lorries and stuff like that. Anyway, I don't drive at all, John. And I got sent on this course, and I think I was sent in the hope that I would fail, because I've got nothing to do, never had anything to do with vehicles, in the hope that I would fail. And then if I fail, then I'd be moved on. And I went to it's near Tunbridge Wells, the Freight Trade Association, FTA, Freight Trade Association. I had to go there to get taught for a week, and then I took my exams and that, and I ended up passing. So I've got a CPC, and I can be an O license holder. I can run logistics, freights, and everything like that. So there's a feather in this cap somewhere. But yeah, I can do all that. So, and the obscure questions you get asked is how much water, how much tire. You get asked silly questions about tire treads. What's the minimum standard of tire tread? What's the minimum standard of water that needs to be in your vehicle to flush, to wipe your windows and stuff like that? Had to know all about illegal aliens, about stowaways, and it's absolute madness. How much oil? What's the depth of oil that you need to have, and to the millimeter? Absolute madness. But yes, I'm a professional CPC license holder for my sins. Driving long distances in Oz is easy. Just get yourself a V8 Interceptor, Grab as much juice as you can, carry, and avoid other road warriors. There you go. Kuba's got it down on point. Archer's gone 1-2. See, you learned something a bit more about me. In the bin, 2-3. In the bin, 2-3. I've still got all my books here as well that I studied with and everything. Bloody hell. And they didn't half cost an arm and a leg. And I had to stay overnight. But then the Freight Trade Association, it was down in Kent, where I went up to Kent. But from my job, it would have been down to Kent. Vindaloo says 1-3. All right, Carl, no worries. So potato stew 0-2. Potato stew's gone for a 0-2. With potatoes there. John's gone for a 0-3. Big John says 0-3. Inner Hype has gone for 0-1. Inner Hype, yeah, he's gone for 0-1. Who else have we got after Inner Hype? I've got a 1-3 for David Clark. David Clark, 1-3 for David Clark. I've got a 0-2 for Ronnie. Ronnie, 0-2. Graham, 1-2. Sorry, not Graham. Adrian's, beg my pardon. Adrian, 1-2. David Clark says, let me give you an actual fact, not fiction. The express train out of Newcastle arrives at Southampton in 4 hours and 45 minutes, and they will be in first class. My heart bleeds for them. Daykaru says 1-3. Daykaru is 1-3. There's Day. There's Day there. And we have Nick. Good morning to you, Nick. Nick is with us and comes in with his usual 1-2. So 1-2 in this one. So it'll be a 1-2 or a 2-1. And that's the way Nick has chosen to play the game this year. If it works, yeah, it does. I've been there 5 times, but only drove through the city once. ADR license is harder, says Big John. Am I too late, Richard? Richard, start from here. Start from here, Richard, because it means there's 2 of you that I can roll back for. When it's just doing it for 1, it's time consuming, but it's both of you. So just start from here, mate. Richard, start from here. Am I too late? No. I had all including air freight license. Fantastic, John. Let's get Jose to 50 likes as soon as possible. That's very, very good of you, Daniel. Thank you very much. Start here. Yes, start from here. So Richard's gone 1-3. There's a few people missing that I haven't got their scores for this game. I'm looking at Paul G, Kuva, and Rakdos Madness, unless I've missed them while we've been talking. Kuva's gone 1-3, so I haven't missed Kuva's. Kuva actually gone for 1-3. Paul G has probably put it in there. He's in blue, so I'll be able to find Paul G. Paul G's normally in blue, so I can see where Paul G's. I can't see Paul G's. So I'm looking for Rakdos Madness, Paul G. Rakdos Madness and Paul G. Let me go and have a little look. Right, did I star the first one? Yeah, I starred it with Jessie, I think. Jess was the first one in. Right, there she is. Jess was the first one in. Rob Belcher, Vindaloo, Totspurs, Mark, Ed, Spurs, Graham, Carl, Mikey, Side Dancer, Neil, Ryan, Michael, Colin, James, Gus, Nita, Archer, in the bin, Johnny Basco, Vindaloo, the Potato, Big John, Cooper I've got, Inner Hype, David Clark, Ronnie, Adrian, Daykaru, Nick, Richard. Okay, so I am missing Rakdos Madness and Paul G. 18-2 for Ben. Okay, Ben, you missed the last game, Ben. Ben, the last game was Southampton Newcastle. Give us a score for that. I used to make over £300 a week on pallets. JBG. £300 a week on pallets. 1-2. Right, 1-2. So the only person I'm missing then is Rakdos Madness. So I don't know where Alan is, but I ain't got a score for him. The next game we move on to is Manchester City versus Chelsea. Man City versus Chelsea, please. You lovely people. So Ronnie's the first one in. Paul G, you have missed. That was the only one. You're in, Paul G. You are in. Ronnie's coming with a 2-1. So Ronnie's first up on this one. Ronnie is coming with 2-1. Cool, now they're all flying through. Jess says 3-1. Did it happen? I missed none. Nita 2-3. Nita 2-3. Beyond Nita, we have Edem at 2-all. Edem. Neil says 2-2. Neil says 2-2. Graham 2-1. There's Graham. In the bin 2-3. In the bin 2-3. Mark Taylor 3-2. Mr. Taylor is going for 3-2. We then have Richard at 3-2. Rich 3-2. Michael at 1-all. Mikey Romero 3-1. Drula 3-2. Nick 2-1. Nick 2-1. Oh, let me see after Nick. I'm going to fly these up to there. Then I've got Archer at 2-2. Archer on a Daigle. I have Ryan G and Big John both 2-1. Big John 2-1. Ryan G. Ryan G 2-1. Dakara at 2-4. Day 2-4. Oops, there's an N in there. I don't need an N, do I? So it's 2-4. A 1-3 for Colin B. Colin B 1-3. Kuva 3-2. Kuva and Drula, same score. Thought. A 2-0 for Paul G. Paul G was further down here, only 2-0 for Paul G. I'd have a 2-1 for Johnny BG. Johnny Vasco says 2-1. 2-1 for Johnny. All done for Johnny. 2-1 for James. Alan has come in with a 1-2. Alan, I am missing your last score for the last game. So, Alan, if you want, I'm missing your Wolves Arsenal score. Gus Parker says 4-1. Need to find Gus. Gus P. There's Gus. Gus said 4-1. Any further down here? No. Where's Gus Parker? There he is. 4-1 for Gus. 2-2 for Inner Hype. Inner Hype, 2-2. Tot Spurs, 3-2. Spurs, Tot Spurs down here, 3. Tot Spurs up there, 3-2. Ben is going for a, don't know how many Dagels he's got. He's got 22-22. So basically a draw. Cool, I made that so big. It looks massive. That backspace there. Backspace there. Sorry, wrong match. 1-0. Gus Parker's going for a 1-0 now. This is what Gus usually does to me. So Gus is going 1-0. Ben, I'm missing your last game. Prediction for Southampton Newcastle, just in case. Potato Stew says 3-2. David Clark says 2-2. Vindaloo 3-2. Adrian says 2-1. Ratdos 0-2. That's right. Yeah, I know the one that you're missing, so that's fine. 18-0 to Southampton. 18-0. Right. Rob Belcher. I'm missing you for this game, Rob. And Carl's coming back, isn't he? So Rob Belcher, let me see if I can find Rob's score. Let me go back. Rob Belcher 2-2. Right, I've got you right. See, it's just a case of rolling back. Sometimes it shows me, sometimes it doesn't. So Rob Belcher's got a 2 draw in there. Right, so with that being said, I think we are caught up with everyone. Yeah, Rob, I found it, mate. Right, the next game we got for you lovely people is Crystal Palace versus Brentford. Crystal Palace versus Brentford. Oh, who's that first in? It's Jess, weren't it? Jess is first in at 1-2. Jess. 1-2. Whoops, where are we? There we go. In the bin, 1-3. In the bin. 1-3. I have a 1-1 for Gus Parker. I have a 2-1 for Tot Spurs. A 2-1 for Tot Spurs. A 1-0 for Edem. 1-0 for Edem. A 2-1 for Nita. Nita. 2-1. Whoopsie daisy. 2-1. That was Nita. I got a 1-0 for Neil. Nearly 1-1. Nick 1-2. Spurs CCTV 2. Graham on a table. Colin B on a 2-3. Colin B on a 2-3. Richard on a Daigle. Richard's on a Daigle. I then have Ronnie on a Daigle. Ronnie's on a Daigle as well. Michael's on a Daigle. Michael's also on the table. Ryan G's 2-1. Ryan G's on a 2-1. Dakaru's on a 0-1. Who? The man who shall not be named is on a 0-1. Kuva is 3-2. Kuva sees goals. 3-2 for Kuva. A 1-2 for Mikey R. A 1-2 for Jimmy Talks Football. A 2-3 for Rob. Senor Rob's on a 2-3. A 1-2 for Drula. Drula. A 1-2 for Drula. A 1-0 for Ben. 1-0 for Ben. A 1-0 for Inner Height. A 2-1 for Big John. Two one for Big John. I've got a 1-0 for Side Dancer. Vindaloo. Is that Vindaloo putting a score in the speaking? He's speaking to someone. Mark Taylor 1-2. Vindaloo 2-1. Paul G 1-0. Potato has gone 1-3. Archer's gone for a 1-0. 1. David Clark's gone for a 2-1. Right. Vindaloo says his dog's got out the window in the backyard. You can't see it. Right, I'm missing Alan, Adrian, Vasco. You might have given it to me. I'm going to go Desmond for Vasco. Okay, I've seen that. So who am I saying now? Adrian and Rakdos. Adrian and Rakdos. Let me have a look. Adrian. No, I haven't got Adrian and Alan. Alan 0-2. So I'm missing Adrian. 0-2. Adrian, any points for you, sir? You going for a score in this game? Or should we just give it a miss, Adrian? I've gone for Palace 2, Brentford 0. Home victory for me. Palace 2, Brentford 0. And Adrian is still missing. I'm missing Adrian. I'm just having a check just to make sure before I move on. I don't want people to see that I've left them behind. No, Adrian has not given me a score. So we move on. Adrian has missed this score at the moment. Right, people. Tottenham versus Leicester. Tottenham v Leicester. What say the crowd? Tottenham Leicester. First in. Right, wow, did that just jump for some reason? In the bin was the first one in the morning at 2-0. Right, it's up there. In the bin was first in at 2-0. In the bin 2-0. And then we have Ronnie at 5-2. Daikaru at 3-2. Daikaru. Excuse me. Daikaru, it's a 3-2. Big John at 3-1. Ryan G 3-1. Richard at 3-1. Rob Belch at 4-2. Nate at 3-1. Hotspurs 3-1. Neil 3-1. Colin Blackshaw 4-2. Let me go back up there. We got Ed M 4-3. Ed M 4-3. Graham 3-0. Trula 3-1. Drula 3-1. Roundtable Talk 1-2. Two 1 Masai. 3-1 for Michael. We've got a 1-2 for Mark. You are afraid, are you, Mark? Says, I'm afraid. This is 1-2. 4-1 for Jess. I'm not afraid of this weekend. I'll tell you that for nothing, people. Not afraid at all for this weekend. I think Leicester are really one of the poorest teams I have seen in the Premiership. And instead of the big manager bounce that you'd expect, 3-1 for a height, big manager bounce that you expect. If anything, since Rude's come in, the results have got worse in my eyes. 2-1 with Jimmy. Different doing it at Man United when your calibre of players better and your squad's much bigger. Reverse that, so that means a home week victory 2-1. See, this is what I mean about doing the 1-2s and the 2-1s, Mr. Roundtable. Ratdos says 2-1. Ratdos says 2-1. Mr. Allen, 2-1. Mikey R, 3-0. So we've got a glut of North American results coming through here. One after the other. You like all in sync. They're being sent over the pond at the same time. Johnny BG says 3-2. As for me, I've got to go. As I cheers for all the great stuff as usual. Neil, you'll have to watch out and do it on the there's four bonus games as well, so you're gonna have to watch out for it and do it on the stream at the end of the stream. 2-1 for David Clark. 2-1 for DC. The potato says 1-0 cheeky win. Don't know, boys. I don't know, you know. Don't know. 1-2, I hate to say it, but small consolation will be scoring points on this. 1-2, says Archer. Take care. Daigle from Gus Parker. Gus Parker. Guys, I'll tell you what, if you lot thought that Hoffenheim weren't great or whatever, then I'll tell you, Leicester are awful. Leicester are an awful team. And especially away from home, they are just cannon fodder. David Clark says, I hate this game. Marrying a Leicester girl and 2 of my sons being Leicester City season ticket holders. I dread these games because I can't win either way. I am missing scores from Adrian. I don't know where he's gone. Carl Simpson we knew about. Paul G, Ben Kaufman, and Vindaloo. Vindaloo probably chasing his dog. So that's probably why I haven't got a result for Vindaloo. But Ben and Paul G. I'm going to quickly check. Paul G's in blue to see, and I haven't got anything from Paul G. No, I haven't. Now just making sure because it started within the bin, and I definitely haven't got anything from Ben, and I haven't got anything from Vindaloo. So Daniel Coy says, if we don't win this, then we literally are in the shit. We will win, Daniel. Right, Don't know where the other boys are with their scores, but we're moving on. I've gone for Tottenham 4, Leicester 0. I can only see us one-way traffic, and I can only see us drubbing them. Getting the W yesterday should kick us on for this game, and should also kick us on for the Elfsborg game. So therefore, I'm going for a 4-0 win. I think Leicester are atrocious away from home, and their form under Rude has not improved. So yeah, so that's the reason why I've gone for that score. Next game is Aston Villa versus West Ham. Aston Villa versus West Ham. If the other guys do decide to come back, I'll have to roll back to them later. But for now, we move on. Jess is first person in. Jess has gone for a 2-1 victory. Jess is on a 2-1. In the bin says 2-2. Rob Belcher 2-0. Rob 2-0. Mark Taylor says 2-2. Ed M says 1-0. Big John says 2-1. Kuba, we'll have to wait and see, mate. We'll have to wait and see. Did I or did I not? We'll have to wait and see. Kuba says, I've literally just opened the door and announced not to Tottenham. We'll wait and see. If I have, I have. If I haven't, then I haven't. But we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. As I said, to me, they're just atrocious. I mean, there's other teams that have beaten us this season, but they had good teams in the sense of they were good enough to beat us on the day. And Leicester just are nowhere near. Leicester are nowhere near. It doesn't matter who Leicester put out. They are awful. Nita says 2-1. Dakari says 3-1. They can't defend for they can't defend for Toffee either, to be honest. They, to me, away from home, they're just awful. They concede so many chances. They got cart horses for centre halves, and they're just an awful side. There is no reason and there's no bone in my body that says that I'm afraid of them and that we shouldn't be getting a result. If we didn't get a result against them, then you know there's something direly wrong at the club completely, and there's no hope for anybody. 2-2 for Ronnie. 1-1 for Graham. I've just noticed Dan's back in here, and Dan's not done any predictions. Don't know whether you're at work, Dan, or what it is today. 2-2 for Richard. We've got a 2-1 for Tot Spurs. I've got a 3-0 for Kuva. Wow, 3-0. And then I've got a 3-1 for Rakdos. Alan, 3-1. 1-1 for Inner Hype. Inner Hype, 1-1. After Inner Hype at 1-1, I can see Drula at 2-1. Drula, who's steadily been climbing up the last few weeks, she's done really, really well, Drula, and she's climbed. Round table talk, Nick says 2-1. Potato Stew's on a 3-0. The potato is on a 3-0. Milton. Hello, Milton. Good morning, I believe, to you, Milton. Your membership, Milton, was gifted to you by Peter Kagayas, another fellow Aussie. So I thought you might have seen it, but yeah, you were gifted it. And if you're coming in, Milton, because of that, then so be it. But nice to see you here again. I hope you are well. Happy New Year. And yeah, as I said, you were gifted your membership today by Peter Kagayas. Gus Parker says 2-1. Milton, if you're interested in doing predictions, just put your scoreline in, mate, and we'll get you added. 2-1 for Gus. 2-0 for David Clark. It's David Clark is here. It's 2-0 for David Clark. And then we have, I put 2-0 Jose, not 2-0 Ronnie. Where's Ronnie? What did I put you in, Ronnie? Ronnie, I've put you in as 2-0. You're in as 2-0 already. Archer said 3-0. Put in Archer at 3-0. Ryan G says 2-0. That's Ryan G's up there. Got Ryan G at 2-0. Jose, can I change the Villa game to 2-0? Yep. Where's El Vasco? El Vasco's game for a 2-0. So 2-0 as it reads. Yep, 2-0 as it reads. Side Dancer's gone in with 2-0. And I can see Mikey Romero's gone in at 0-1. Mikey R is up here on a 0-1. I am missing people again. So Adrian 2-1. Adrian, you've missed a few, so you'll have to wait to the end, Adrian, when I'll go back, do the rollbacks, and I'll tell you what ones you've missed. But you've missed a couple of games previous to this one. I am missing Neil, who said that he might have to come back and do it afterwards. Colin Blackshaw, who I haven't seen. Paul G. Ben Kaufman. And Vindaloo. But Vindaloo was last chasing his dog out of a window. So just want to make sure Colin B's not here. Have I missed Colin Blackshaw's? Let me go back up and have a look. Colin Blackshaw went for a 2-0. So I had missed Colin Blackshaw. Right, Colin, I found yours now, mate. You went for a 2-0. The persons I'm missing, are they down the bottom? No, Diehards is still there. Colin, I found yours, Colin. So Adrian, I'm missing the last two. Right, next game that we move to is... Right, the last game in the Premiership that we are predicting this week is Fulham versus Manchester United. Please, people. Fulham, Man U. Right, so this is right. Jess was first with a 2-1, yeah. And Nita came with a 2-1. Right, so I've got a few 2-1s. Right, so let me just get a 2-1 score and cut that. Let's copy it. Jess was first in with a 2-1. That was followed by Nita on a 2-1. Which was closely followed by In the Bin on a 2-1. Which was then closely followed by Big John on a 2-1. Which was then also then followed by Jimmy Talks Football on a 2-1. Have I got any more 2-1s? Tot Spurs was on a 2-1. Potato Stews on a 2-1. Tot Spurs 2-1. Potato Stew did a 2-1. Round Table Talk and Michael did 2-1s. Round Table Talk did a 2-1. Spurs Diehards 2-1. Spurs Diehards. Spurs Diehards as Adrian has gone for a 2-1 for Adrian. Ronnie's also gone for a 2-1. So Ronnie, I need to find on a 2-1. Which I've got. Mikey Romero says 2-1. Mikey Romero says 2-1. Right, I am going to go back round then. Brian G says 2-1. Whilst I've got the 2-1s coming in, I might as well copy and paste these because it saves me time. Then I'm going to go back to the top. So let me go back to Jess because she's first in. Any alternative scores? Daykaru says 3-1. It's an alternative score for Day 3-1. I then have an alternative score. Mark Taylor says 1-2. Mark Taylor 1-2. I then have Edem at 2-2. Edem on a Daigle. I have Rob Belcher at 2-0. Robbie B. 2-0. I also have Alan at 2-0. So Senor Raptos Madness. Let's go and put 2-0. Alan, do you know what I did today for my sins? When I had a bit of time at lunchtime, I went back and I watched the Tottenham versus Everton watch along that Colin did on my channel with you and Chang that appeared that day, and then he had a few, Dan was on, AJ, a few others were on at the end of the show. I went back and looked. That was the second or third game of the season, and I went back and looked at how I was cheering Tottenham in the stadium, and everyone was really happy, and and I gave some live people, live updates from the stadium, and I got some filmage of other people that I'd met on the day. Further down the line, looking at it now, you'd think to yourself, bloody hell, that seems like it was like 15 years ago. And we were all happy the other day, and that seems like 15 years ago. It was good. It was good. It brought a smile to my face watching it all again. Richard is going 1-2. Inner Hype says 1-2. He's coming in thick and fast now. 1-2, 1-2. So Dancer says 1-3. Where's Sai? And I can see Archer's going for a 2-0. Archer is on a 2-0. Have I missed anyone? Oh, yeah, we've got some more here. Spurs Die Hard says Palace 1, Brentford 1. Are they the ones that you missed? Yes, they are, Adrian. So, Adrian, you're going for a 1-1 and a 2-1. And a 2-1. All right, Adrian, I got you. You're up to date. Gus P says 2-0. Need to find Gus P. Gus P says 2-0. Gus, you'd already given me a 2-1. What was that, Mikey R? Sorry, I think it might be Mikey R. Yeah, Mikey R gave me the 2-1. Okay, so Mikey R gave me the 2-1. Gus, you're giving me a 2-0. Right, let me just go back to 2-0 for Gus. Who else am I missing? You may have given me. Don't worry if I call your name out. It just means I haven't seen it. Paul G says 2-1. Is Paul G up to date? Paul G's missing a couple. Paul G 2-1. Paul G, you're missing the previous 2 games, and that would be Tottenham, Leicester, and Aston Villa, West Ham for you, Paul. I saw Archer come in. Yeah, Archer's done 2-0. Right, that's just gone mental. So, am I missing anyone? Neil says 1-0. Neil didn't say 1-0. Graham, did you say 1-0? I think everything's jumped by 1 here. Oh, come on. This is just getting ridiculous. What's happened here? Graham, you gave me a score, and I'm sure you gave me 1-0. Johnny Bethnal Green, what did you give me? Did you give me 2-1? Because if it is, I think, Johnny, you gave me 3-2. In the bin. Right, so everyone's scores has jumped by 1. Right, bear me a second. I hope I'm right in what I'm saying here. Right. Graham's 1-0. Ronnie's 2-1. Right, so I'm hoping that I've got this right now. So I am missing David Clark, Ryan G, Tot Spurs, and Richard. Richard's gone 1-2. Right, let me just see again. So it's Inner Hype, Ryan G, and David Clark. You've probably done them. I just need to come towards them. Now I need just to find David Clark and Hype. You guys may have done it. It's just, yeah, Inner Hype's 1-2 and David Clark's 2-1. 1-2. 2-1 with David Clark. Talk Sports are reporting that we're in for Brian Broberry. Oh my bloody mother of Christ. Brian bloody Broberry. Right, whilst all this was going on, I think I need to make sure that I'm up with this. Everything's frozen over this end. Right, let me just make sure that we are here. We are here. Right, yeah. So Dakaru has kindly gifted 5 Tel Cockerel channel memberships. Thank you very much, Dakaru. It's very, very kind of you. And these have gone to Bigby Wolf, Robert Ferguson, PH Family, Robert Wilson, and Dan G. So if these people come in, or any of these 5 people were to come in, then they need to thank Dakaru for his kindness in gifting 5 channel memberships. Thank you very much. Bobby K. Sorry, Jose, just popping in to drop a like. We'll add scores in comments later. Have a great day, everyone, from Bobby K. Thank you very much. Yeah, Dan saying a prolific scorer. Yeah, I can see everything that's being said about this fella. At the end of the day, what you got to look at, right, is it appears to be that we're shopping the same as a lot of other teams on players that the clubs will release. I've got a feeling that if anything's going to happen at Tottenham, it won't happen until next week. And I'm talking about probably late in the week, once the destination of people's places are sorted in the European leagues. Because by next Thursday, you will know who's through in the Champions League, who's through in the Europa Conference, who's through in the Europa League. Teams that haven't made it are the bottom 9 that drop out, and there's some big sides there. The teams that drop out then probably might want to sell players. The teams that haven't qualified as of right into the last 16 and have to play the playoff games, they might want to change some players. So I think the last few days of the window, and bearing in mind the window doesn't close till Monday week, I think that's when we're going to see shit hit the fan. Yes, I said we're getting scrubs, is what Dan said. Paul G says, what game is he missing? Paul G, you are missing 2 games. Paul, you're missing Tottenham, Leicester, and Aston Villa versus Fulham. And there's some others that are missing games as well, like Vindaloo and places like that. If people come back, they're going to have to catch up. Right. So now that you know the first bonus game of the weekend, and we have 4 of these, the first game of the weekend bonus game is Augsburg versus Heidenheim. Augsburg versus Heidenheim. So Paul G's going 3-0 and 2-0. So the first bonus game is Augsburg versus Heidenheim. Jess is first in with a 2-1. Yes, 2-1 for her. Jimmy. Side dancer, Daigle at 2-2 as well. 2-2 for side dancer. And who else we got there? Let's see up there. Two side dancer. Round table. I've got Michael 3-2. Dakaru, they're both in the German league. Is all I can tell you. They're both in the German league. Augsburg and Heidenheim are in the German Bundesliga, so the top tier in Germany. I think Augsburg are higher than Heidenheim in the league table. That's the only context I can give you, mate, to be honest. Tot Spurs has gone 2-1. 2-1 for Tot Spurs. Then I can see that I've got Nita at 2-0. Rob Belcher at 1-0. Then I have Richard at 1-0. Richard at 1-0. Colin Blackshaw 1-2. Colin B, where are you, Colin B? Colin B has been doing well of late as well. 2-1 for Ed M, which I think I've already got. Yep, I've got Ed M's. In the bin, 3-1. 3-1 for in the bin. 2-0 for Johnny Bethnal Green. 3-1 for Paul G. Paul is 3-1. I go further up, but I can find Graham at 2-0. Graham at 2-0. Gus Parker 1-0. Gus Parker at 1-0. Mikey Romero 2-0. Adrian 2-1. Adrian is a bit like Nick. It's 2-1, either home or away victory. Both all the ways 2-1s. Ronnie 1-0. Ronnie 1-0. Inner Hype says 1-0. Inner Hype 1-0. Big John 1-0. Who else have we got down there? We got any more people down? Yeah. You got Kuba 2-0. Kuba, it's on a 2-0. Drula 2-1. 0-0 for Dekaru. I have Augsburg and mid-table, Heidenheim in the relegation zone. David Clark says 2-1. David Clark says 2-1. Potatoes 4-1. Alan is 2-0. Who am I missing? I'm missing Archer. Ryan G. Ben. Vindaloo. Vindaloo never gave me a score, so that's got to be wrong. Right, so now I have to look for Ben, Ryan, and Archer. Probably give them to me. It's just I've got to look for you. 2-0 for Ryan. So I found you, Ryan. You're on a 2-0. It's weird because you're putting them in there, and sometimes they don't appear, and they appear after you've put them in there. Yeah, I've found Ryan's. Ryan's not a problem. I found his one. Ben Coffin didn't go for a 2-0 in that game either. This machine is playing up. Let me look for Archer. No, Archer's definitely not giving me a result for this game. Right, so yeah, I did get your Fulham score. Ryan, you went for 2-1 for Fulham. I got your score. Vindaloo is back and he's putting in scores, but I don't know whether okay. Archer says 2-0. Right, for hold this game, right? 2-0. Bear with me, people. I'm just gonna catch up with Vindaloo. Vindaloo, you're missing from Tottenham. Okay, so you're right. So you're from Tottenham. You won 3-2, 2-1, 1-3, and 2-0. Right, you're up to date as well. I am just missing. So Ben's not around. Archer's here. Right, who's this game between? Augsburg and Heidelheim. Bear with me a second, people. You know the routine. Just need to have a quick look, don't I? Football. Because I do these things and I don't check them. Bundes. That's it. German Bundesliga. That's right. So this game is between, who did I say? Augsburg. Augsburg are 12th with 22 points, and they've won their last 2 games on the trot. They're playing Heidelheim, who have lost and drawn their last 2 games, and they're on 14 points. So 16th versus 12th. They scored 21 goals in 18 games. Right, I'm going to back the trend. Don't know what I'm going for. Should I do this? No, I won't. I'm going to go Augsburg 2, Heidenheim 0. I was going to go 3-0, but I've now gone 2-0. Right. Now, the next game is coming from... Right, Dekaru, do you need any help with this one then? The next game is between Napoli versus Juventus, please. Napoli versus Juventus. And to put you in the picture, this is 1st versus 5th. Right, 1st versus 5th. Right. But in saying that, Juventus have played 21 games in the league and are unbeaten. They are in 5th place, but they are unbeaten. They've won 8, drawn 13, and lost none. Napoli sit top by 3 points from Inter Milan, but have played a game more. Napoli have won their last 6 games on the trot. Juventus have won 2 and drawn 4 of the last 6 games. Juventus remain unbeaten and are in 5th place. Right, so that's giving you a bit of an update of where they are. So we start with Big John came in with 2-1. Right, Big John was the first one in with a 2-1 victory. Right, Big John says 2-1. Tot Spurs says 2-1. Mark Taylor says 2-1. Just going to see if I can get the 2-1s out of the way. Drula says 2-1. Drula says, oops, Adrian, that's Drula there. 2-1. Oh, I ain't got no more 2-1s there. So I roll back and then I go to Jess says 3-1. Side Dancer is on the table at 2-2. Who else we got? Mark Taylor 2-1. I've done. Mikey Romero says 3-1. Jimmy Talks says 3-1. Mikey R says 3-1. Drew says 2-1. Edem says 1-0. Edem, where's Edem? Edem says 1-0. Michael Chelsea says 1-0. Ooh, 1-0. I did this last week, went for an Italian game, went 1-0, and it ended up being anything but. Nita says 2-2. Go for Nita. Colin B says 0-2. Colin B says 0-2. Then we have In the Bin at 2-2. Jolly Bethnal Green at 1-2. Paul G at 1-0. Paul G 1-0. Graham at 2-2. Rob Belcher 1-0. Rob Belcher. Where's Rob? Where's Rob? Rob. Can't forget the man Rob. Here he is. Rob's gone 1-0. And who's after Rob? Let me see. Go. Here we go. There's more people. After Rob, we have got Vindaloo at 1-0. Vindaloo. 1-0. I then have potato stew. Big score in 3-all draw for potato. I have Spurs diehards Adrian at 1-0, but the trend from his 2-1s for a 1-0. 1-0. I have one 1-0 there. Ronnie Gus Raptors. Did I just see Raptors' score somewhere? Yep. Raptors has gone 3-2. Ryan G has gone 1-0. Ryan G 1-0. Moani may be a game changer. 1-2 for Inner Hype. 1-2. Round table Nick on for 1-2. Neil to Napolis. It's Parker 2-1. Michael Zachariah, not seen you in a while, mate. I hope you are well. Have you played this year, Michael? Let me see. If not, you're a new player again. I know you played last year. Michael or Michelle, I'm going to put you in as a new player. So if you wait till when we finish, Michelle, I will then go back and give you all the other fixtures that you need to do, the same as some other people that are playing. So Michael Zachariah is coming with a 0-0 for this game. Ronnie says 2-1. I think I had Ronnie already. So I am missing, who am I missing? David Clark, Dekaru, and Richard. David Clark, Dekaru. David Clark's gone 2-all, so I'm not missing David Clark. So it's Dekaru and Richard, which I'm going to look for. Dekaru's gone 1-3, which I found. So Dekaru's fine. And then Richard for this game has gone. Where's Richard? Richard in his colour code. 3-1 for Richard. 3-1 for Richard. Right. So for me, for my score in this game, if I'm looking at the table, 35-14, they do score goals. Juventus don't concede many. Right. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Napolis. 2-0 win to Napolis. Now I'm going to go to the next league because I've got to spell the team correctly. All right, here we go. Right, so the next game we've got is a bonus game. And the third bonus game, there's one bonus game love after this, is Ajax. Oh, where is it? Is it coming up or not? There we go. Ajax Athens versus Panatolikos. Ajax Athens versus Panatolikos. Yes, in the bin. They've won 13 and drawn 8 or something like that in Italy. Juve are unbeaten. Right, if anyone needs to know, the only information I can give you on this is that Eric Lamela now plays for Ajax Athens. That's all I can give you on this. And Ajax are third in the league. And Ajax lost their last league game. But Ajax in the last 6 games have won 4, drawn 1, lost 1. And Panatolikos are 7th. And they have lost, well, 1, 2, drawn 1, and lost 3 in their last 6 games. Their goal difference is scored 16, conceded 16. That's Panatolikos. And Ajax have scored 31 and conceded 13. So Panatolikos are on 0 goal difference, and Ajax are on plus 18. That's the only information I can give you on these teams, I'm afraid. We start with round table talk has gone in with a 2-1. So when in doubt with European teams, just go for a 2-1, innit? That's what you do. Not you, but that's what people do. 2-1 in the doubt. Don't know the teams, go 2-1. Have we got any more 2-1s? Yeah, we've got Hotspurs at 2-1. Hotspurs at 2-1. Got any more 2-1s there while I'm here? The 2-1s. Michael Zach Araya is at a 2-1. So Michelle, 2-1. Have we got any more 2-1s? No. Okay. So, right, Big John is going for a 1-2. Let me find Big John. Big John is on a 1-2. Then I've got Jimmy and a 2-0. Jimmy Coys. James Talks Football. He's gone for a 2-0. And then we have Mikey Romero on a 1-3. Mikey on a 1-3. We then have Edem on a 2-0. Edem on a 2-0. Then we have Adrian on a 2-0. Adrian, 2-0. Mark Taylor, 3-2. Mark Taylor. Where's Mark? Here he is. Mark, 3-2. I have then got Side Dancer on a 3-0. Shy on a 3-0. I have In the Bin at 1-3. In the Bin at 1-3. I have, after In the Bin, I have Rob Belcher at 2-0. 2-0 with Rob. 3-1 for Jess. Jess, up here, 3-1. Michael, 2-0. Michael, where's Michael? Michael's there, 2-0. Michelle, 2-1. Drula, 2-0. Dekaru, 2-0. 2-0. Drula, 2-0. Richard, 3-1. Richard, 3-1. Nita, 1-0. Nita, 1-0. Ronnie, 3-1. Ronnie, 3-1. Where's Ronnie? Ronnie, where are you? There we are. Ronnie's up there. 3-1 for Ronnie. Then we have Johnny Bethnal Green at 2-0. Johnny BG, 2-0. Then we have Paul G at 2-0. Paul G at 2-0. Potato at 0-0. Doesn't fancy goals in this. Potato, it's got 0-0. Then we have a bit further up. I've got Graham on a 2-0. Graham on a 2-0. I then have Gus Parker on a 3-0. Gus on a 3-0. Dekaru says 2-0. Did Dekaru not just give me a score a minute ago? Or is it 2-0? Yeah, Dekaru's got 2-0. Archer's gone 2-0. Archer's also gone 2-0. David Clark's gone 3-1. David Clark, 3-1. Vindaloo, 3-1. Vindaloo, 3-1. And then we have Colin Blackshaw at 1-1. Mr. Blackshaw, 1-1. I have Ryan G at 2-0. Ryan G, 2-0. 0-0. I at 3-1 for Cuba. 3-1 for Cuba. Change mine to 2-1. 2-1. Right, so the people I'm missing here are Rakdos Madness. Inner Hype. So Rakdos Madness and Inner Hype. Let me see if I can find you. You may well have given them to me, and StreamYard's late in putting them, or YouTube is late in putting them up. So let me go back and have a look. So I am missing. Who did I say I was missing? I am missing Inner Hype and Rakdos Madness, right? Inner Hype and Rakdos. Inner Hype, Rakdos. Inner Hype, Rakdos. Inner Hype 01, so it's Rakdos I'm missing. So 01. Right, Michelle, you haven't played this year, but what we're doing this year is we do the predictions for the Premier League, and then we do some bonus games, and we do up to four or five, 3, 4, 5 bonus games. This week we're doing 4, and they can be from anywhere in any league in the world, and we do them to give people an opportunity to score points who have started playing the game late. Equally, the people that started playing the game every week, they could score points as well. But it's just to give people a chance. Right, I don't know where Alan is, so I'm going to go to the final game. Right, the bonus games at the moment, Ellie, are... Ellie, we're on Napoli-Juventus. Sorry, Augsburg-Heidenheim. Napoli versus Juventus. We've just done Ajax Athens versus Panathinaikos, and the last one is now Mallorca versus Real Betis. Mallorca versus Real Betis is the last bonus game of the week, and then what I will do for people that have missed the scores, I will go back and start again from game 1. At the moment, I'm starting back for Nick, Richard, and Michelle. They're the people that I will go back for. In it, right? So that's where we are. Mikey Romero is the first person in with a 1-3. So I've got Mikey Romero on a 1-3. Where's Mikey? Mikey, you're done. You're in. Mikey Romero on a 1-3. Big John's on a 1-3. Big John, you're done. You're in. I've got a 0-0 for Gus Parker. Gus Parker. Pataloklos nil. For a 4-0 scoreline. Who was on 0-0? Gus Parker. In the bin 0-2. In the bin 0-2. Mark Taylor 1-2. In the bin, you're done. You're in. Mark Taylor, you are in, sir. I've got all yours now. Richard 1-3. Richard 1-3. Ed M is 2-1. Ed M is 2-1. Rob Belcher at 0-0. Rob Belcher, you're done. You're in. Sorry, the people above that are in. Ed M, you're in. Jess 1-2. Jess, you're in. I hope you take some medication and go and get yourself better, darling. Side Dancer 1-3. Sai, you're in. Don't forget, people, there'll be a show tomorrow morning at 9:30 English time, just to let you know. And then you've got the lovely Queen Ellie and Ash back on Sunday for the first time this year. They've been off ill, and they're back. They're fighting fit, and they'll be back on Sunday to host the show. And that's at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. And the results show for this will be on Monday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Anthony Equalizer 2-2, says Michelle. Has he left already for Betis? I'm not sure. I think he has. Colin Blackshaw says 1-1. Colin Blackshaw. Colin, I've got yours. You're in, mate. 1-1. Who else we got next? We've got Jimmy Coys at 0-2. Jimmy Talks Football. Jimmy, you're in. But Totspurs 1-2. That makes Totspurs you're in, sir, as well. Who else we got? Potato Stew at 0-2. Tato, you're done. You're in. Jimmy, Johnny Bethnal Green. Johnny Bethnal Green says 1-1. He's in. Round Table Talk says 1-2. Right. 1-2 for Nick. 1-2. You got a 1-2 for Michael. Michael, you're done. You've got all yours in, mate. You're done. 2-0 for Graham. Graham, that means that you are in and done. Ronnie says 1-1. Ronnie, you are fully loaded as well. You're in. Die Hard's 1-2. Where is Adrian? Adrian 1-2. Adrian, you're loaded and locked. You're in. Vindaloo says 1-1. Vindaloo, you're locked and done. Change mine, Jose, please, for 1-2 in this game. So Drula's changing it to a 1-2 rather than a 1-3. So it's 1-2 for you, Drula. Nita says 2-1. Nita, you're locked, loaded, and done. Have yourself a lovely weekend. Paul G says 1-0. Paul G, you're locked and loaded. Have a lovely weekend. David Clark says 1-1. David Clark, you're locked and loaded. Have yourself a good part of your weekend. Can't wish you all the best for tomorrow night, for Sunday night, because we're on opposing sides. But may the best team win. Archer, you're locked, loaded, and done. Inner Hype says 1-3. Inner Hype, you're locked, loaded, and completed. Have a lovely weekend as well. Yeah, Rob Belcher saying thanks to me, but saying hopefully Jess feels better. Yes, we do want that to happen. Thank you, Jose Legend. Hit the like, subscribe. Thank you, Potato. Thank you, Totspurs. Thank you, Nita. Kuba says 1-1. And Kuba is 1-1 draw. Kuba's locked and loaded and in for the weekend, Kuba. Have a lovely weekend. I am missing Rapdos Madness. I'm missing Dakari, but he put a message. I need to go back. Ryan G, I'm missing as well. And then I'm going to go back and do the others. Ryan G says 2-2. So once I've done these last couple, you have to listen out for the people that I've got to go back for. Dakari, what did Dakari say before this? He was falling asleep and he said something. Sorry, I said, but I can't keep my eyes open any longer. Put me down for a 1-1 for the rest of the bonus games. So I'm going to put him for a 1-1 for this game. And Dakari is locked and loaded. Right, so I've got everyone apart from Rapdos Madness and other people that left the show earlier. Just to complete this, I now have to look at La Liga, which I'm going to do now. La Liga. And I think I'm going for a home win, but I just want to make sure. Mallorca in 6th place. Yeah, they've scored 19 and conceded 25. So they don't win by much, do they? 3 wins and 3 losses in their last 6. And they're playing Real Betis, who are -4 points. Real Betis have won 1, drawn 2, and lost 3 in their last 6. Right, so what's Jose going to go for? I'm going to go for a 1-2. Right, stock response and a 1-2. Right, so for people, Smithy's here. Look at that. Says, flexing his 5-month membership, saying, love always, Senor Garcia. Love to you as well, Smithy. Cheers, everyone. Have a chill weekend. Get well soon. Jess says, in a hype. Yep. Artist says, thanks. Have a lovely weekend, Jose. Yep. Right, so this is for, right? So, Ellie, if you're still listening and you want to put them in, Nick, Richard, and Michelle, your first games are, or the first game of the weekend is Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. So for these 4 people that I've said, Ellie, Nick, Richard, Michelle, this is your first game, Bournemouth versus Forest, and anybody else that wants to take part, fresh or new, start now. So Richard says 2-2. Round table says 1-2. Michelle says 2-2. And round table says 1-2. I have a feeling if Ellie's at the vet, she's not going to be able to take part. So what I might do is I might skip Ellie and we'll move on. And we'll go to the second game for you 3 guys. Is Yes, Carl, you can do. Brighton versus Everton, you three. Right, Carl, you are... Right, I'll tell you when to start jumping back in, Carl, all right? You don't have to jump in till the 6th game. So you're not jumping in yet. I would call you out, Carl, when you're jumping in, all right? So round table, Nick has gone for a 2-1 in this game. Richard has gone in for a 2-1. Brighton 2-1 for Michelle as well. Right, game number 3 for you gentlemen is Liverpool versus Ipswich, please, gentlemen. Liverpool versus Ipswich. God, 5 more likes to get to 50 likes for this. Am I talking about getting muddled? 5 more likes. So people, as you're leaving, if you hit the like button, it'd be appreciated. I am missing 5 people to get to 50 likes for this stream. Michelle's 2-0. Round table is 2-1. Richard is 3-0. Right, game number 4 for you 3 guys is Southampton versus Newcastle, please. Southampton versus Newcastle. And Michelle, just to let you know that the scores for this weekend, is on Monday. The show will be on Monday with the scores. 1-2 for round table. Right, with that being said, Nick, you're in. You're locked and loaded. You're done. Richard, you are locked and loaded. You are done. Michelle, this next game is just for you. And that's Wolves versus Arsenal, please, Michelle. Wolves versus Arsenal. One nil, right? So this now is for Michelle and Carl. The next games are for Michelle and Carl. Manchester City versus Chelsea, please. Michelle and Carl. Two one for Carl. Ellie, I've already told people in the chat about your show on Sunday. I have already given the people 1-2 for Michelle in this one. But yeah, join Ash and herself at 10 a.m. on Sunday, please. Join us and come back after recovering from a bad inflamed throat infection. I can finally speak. She's happy as a bell. Right, Michelle and Carl. Your next game is Crystal Palace versus Brentford, please. Crystal Palace versus Brentford. Two one for Carl. What's Michelle? Michelle's 1-1. Michelle and Carl. Next game for you two guys is Tottenham versus Leicester. Tottenham v Leicester, please, gentlemen. 3-1 for Carl. Two all for Michelle. Next game for you two gentlemen is Aston Villa versus West Ham, please. Aston Villa versus West Ham. Ellie, I'll promote it again. I've got a show tomorrow. So I'll promote it again tomorrow. You want me to change the Tottenham score to 2-1? Okay, that's done, Michelle. 2-1. I just need the score for this one, Villa versus West Ham. So, Els, if you're listening, I'm on tomorrow, and all members are welcome to join. The link has already been pinned in the community section, and I'm doing a show tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. So if you're about and you fancy having a tester, you can do tomorrow. 2-1 to Villa. Right, so Michelle and Carl, your next game is Fulham versus Manchester United. Fulham versus Manchester United, please. Two, 2-1 for Carl. One, 2. Right, the first bonus game for the week, the first bonus game of the weekend for you both is Augsburg versus Heidenheim in the German Bundesliga. Augsburg versus Heidenheim in the German Bundesliga for you gentlemen. Two, 2-1 for Michelle. Right, Michelle, you're done. You have now got all your predictions in. Carl is going for a 3-2. Don't forget to hit the like the stream. I want to try and get to 50. The next game for you, Carl, is, or the bonus game for you, Carl, is Napoli versus Juventus. Napoli versus Juventus, please, Carl. Next game, third bonus game of the week for you, Carl, is AEK Athens versus Panathinaikos. AEK Athens versus Panathinaikos. As you enter, as you leave, please hit the like button. It's much, much appreciated. 3-1. AEK versus Panathinaikos. And then the final game of the weekend, which is the last bonus game, is Real Club Mallorca versus Real Betis. So Real Club Mallorca versus Betis. I think this is like 6th versus 12th or something. But there's only like a stupid amount of points. There's only a few points different. There's 6 places difference, but only like 3 or 4 points difference. 1-2, says Carl. Right. Let me just save that. That means I've got everybody's at the moment. I am missing some people, but they will need to catch up in the comment section after the show if they've already left here. But we have, oops, overwrite changes on that. But yeah, thank you very much for everybody. Make sure you hit the likes on the way out. I have to thank some people today. So my thanks goes out to James Coys for a 5-month member chat. Peter Guys has gifted 5, 10, 15 channel memberships. So thank you very much, Peter. Dekaru gifted 5 channel memberships. And Smithy put in a 5-month member chat as well. So thank you very much for all these people for their support and their love of the show. The show goes on because it's audience participation. I need you guys to be here in order to do these shows. So I wish you all the very, very best. Just remember, tomorrow morning at 9:30, I have a members show. Everybody that is a member would be able to see the link. It's in the community page. It's been left there. So that'll be at 9:30 tomorrow morning. On Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning, the lovely Ellie and Ash P will be back with the ladies' takeover shows because they've both been ill and they're both back. So they're looking forward to Sunday's show. And then on Monday at 4 p.m., we will have the results show for these predictions. So thank you everyone very, very much. It's much appreciated, and I wish you all a great weekend. And until I see you, some of you, I'll see you tomorrow, right? If you come onto the show tomorrow morning or you tune in. So without further ado, it's come on, you mighty Spurs, and in the big hands I still trust. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Small AO has done works. Its damage here, its disruptive presence felt for a hot